can't believe it. So you see, it's not only diode chip, something else is burned. Probably the 3.3 volts power supply. That was the reason why the power supply was not taking like around 140 or 150 milliamps, having the DC chip shorted. I knew it. But anyway, the AC chip is fine. Okay, let's lower the voltage of the power supply. We have a 3.2 coming on the same spot, the capacitor here. We lower the current. So here is taking 1.5 because it's ground, and here is taking 70 milliamps. So you can see 60 milliamps. And that's normal for the AC chip, 60 milliamps. This AC chip is fine. Now all we have to do is to find the 3.3 volts power supply, and I'll be looking for a blow up chip. Must be blow up. Let's have a look around. Probably is here on the other side. Let me check on the other side. Yeah, it must be this one. Yeah, it must be this one, right? Yeah, it must be this one. I think, not sure. You know what? Someone replaced it. So check it. So someone believe this chip is shorter. Check that. Check the chip. It's not even soldered. Check that. You can see? You can't see. Check that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check the pads. That was an easy and pleasant job, right? Of course. Now let's put the board back. So if we have picture, the laptop is fixed. Good. We're going with this. The power button probably is here, right? So what do we need? We need a thermal pad over the CPU. Thermal pad. We need power. So the charger and the charging port. Good. Now let's press the power button. So let's see if it's pressed. So pressing the power button and it's coming on. It's restarting because obviously we reset the BIOS. Taking it once. Well, the signal is pretty high. I mean, it's burning my finger. 2.2 amps. I can't hold it. We have picture on the screen, you can see. We have picture. I can't hold it. And we have the BIOS menu, you can see on the screen. So this laptop is fixed. Okay? Fantastic. I'm happy I helped the customer. And I do have a second job from this customer, but anyway, this it will be the other job will be another video. Okay, so I'll stop now. What we have here, we have a dead DC chip, we replace it. The laptop is working fine. But have in mind one more time, this is a common mistake. You see something getting hot and you believe it's short. No. If it's a power supply, you know the power supply has inputs and outputs. So if you have a shorted output, that's the reason why that chip can get hot. In our case, exactly as I have predicted, yeah? I predict, you know, the customer seen the chip getting hot and he replaced the chip. Actually, he didn't check, you know, if the output of the chip are short. Good? So I'll stop here. I'll say thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video like always, and see you on the next one. And by the
close. Let's just get a little bit closer, shall we? Alright, so right here, we're going to check it. Okay, so here is where the sort of the process of elimination comes in. I now know that this board is actually showing a heat signature right about here, and because it's taking a little bit to fade through, I'm going to assume that that short is actually on the other side of the board right there. So we can run with that information, and we can actually switch back over and just have a look at the board view again. The standoff post, it is right about here, and that is where the heat is coming through, and that's just above this little jag here. So then looking at the other side of the board, that is going to put us somewhere right down here in the neighborhood of here. And you can see that we've got, you know, all these tiny little caps in this area, and man, I was sure hoping we were going to get lucky and it wasn't in the bottom side of that board, because I don't like taking the shield off of this one. Now, I really like doing this on the newer boards, like, you know, the 12 and 13 series and even the 14 series, and you can narrow down sometimes an area where it's like, wait a minute, there's only one capacitor that could be in that spot that's on this line, so you can literally find the short before you start doing any kind of modification. So the next thing I'm going to do to this board is go ahead and pull the sticker off the bottom of it. So let's just go ahead and start peeling this up. Sticks on there. Pretty good, by the way. Okay. Whoops. Dang it. We'll just pretend like that didn't happen. Now, if we just look at the top side of the board here and compare, we know that the short was up around here. That means it's actually going to be somewhere right down around in here. And in order to solve this, I'm either going to have to cut the shield, which I really don't like doing, or I'm going to have to take it off the board, which I really don't like doing on this model. So let's start getting some of this adhesive and gunk pulled back out of the way. And just for the sake of knowing, I'm going to have one more look at this with a thermal camera, because if there's any way that I can prevent removing that bottom shield, I would really rather do that. We have baseband components under that shield, and removing that shield poses a serious risk to those components. And if you accidentally cause a cold solder joint in that area, then you have to reball the baseband power management IC and the baseband CPU. Why is it every time I decide I'm going to record something, it winds up being like the worst possible scenario almost every single time? Here we are, thermal imaging. I'm going to bump the power supply, and 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it's right there on the edge. Look at the heat just blast out from under the side of there, and I haven't even pulled the thermal stickers off of this yet. So now I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, bam, that right there, that's right there on the edge. Right there on the edge of that board. Look at that. Right there, that is where the short is at. And again, switching back over and looking at the board view, if we have just a little gander here at the board view, we can see that we have right here in this area, we've got ceramic caps. Right here is going to be where that short is. Now, I like to take these shields off of here using low melt, but the problem here is that I can only get to the outer perimeter here with the low melt. I can't get to, you know, that spot. And being that it's blasting out from under the edge of there just like that, it is most likely going to be the 1005 right there. So